This is the Stone HS175D, a compact GPS camera drone I've been flying for about 8 months. I picked it up as a low-risk way to learn the ropes, and I've put it through a lot of backyard practice, park flights on calm mornings, and a handful of quick travel sessions. I'll keep this honest and practical, the way I wish someone had explained it to me before I bought it. Design and feel. The HS175D folds down small and is super light at about 215 grams. That sub 250 grams weight was a big selling point for me because it lowers the hassle in many places. The drone feels better built than I expected at this price. The plastic doesn't creak, the arms lock out with a confident snap, and the brushless motors are quiet and efficient compared to older brush setups I've flown. The included case is genuinely useful. It fits the drone, the controller, 2 batteries, prop guards, and spare props without a fight. After months of tossing it in a bag, the hinges are still tight and nothing rattles or feels loose. The landing pads under the body are small, so I prefer taking off from a flat surface or a small pad to avoid tipping. The controller is simple and familiar. It's a Mode 2 layout with a clamp for my phone on top, and it has dedicated buttons for 1-key takeoff landing, return to home, and photo video. The unsung hero is the physical rocker to tilt the camera straight from the controller, from level down to straight at the ground. That matters when you're learning to frame shots and don't want to hunt through the app. Experience. From my experience, the setup process took a few tries to feel natural. There's a calibration routine before flights, compass and gyro, that the app walks you through. It works, but it can be picky about your positioning, and I've had to redo it between flights if I changed locations. Once dialed in, GPS lock usually comes within a minute or so in open areas. Key features that actually helped me learn: GPS plus GLONASS positioning for holding its spot outdoors, an optical flow sensor underneath to help it hover indoors or when GPS is weak, altitude hold to keep it steady at a set height, and a healthy list of smart modes: follow me, waypoint circle, plus a beginner mode that caps distance and height. Headless mode is there too. That's a setting where the drone moves relative to your stick inputs, regardless of which way the nose is pointing. But I used it only in early practice because learning orientation builds better habits. The big truth about flight performance is this: wind matters a lot. The lightweight is great for portability, but it gets pushed around. In calm air, it hovers fine and responds predictably. In a breeze, I feel it skating sideways and working hard to hold position. I've had a couple of why is it drifting moments, even with a good satellite lock, and I've learned to pick calm time windows. If it gets gusty, I land. The safety net features have worked for me. Return to home comes in when battery is low or if the link drops, and it's brought the drone back near the takeoff point reliably, typically within a couple of meters. On range, the marketing talks about hundreds of meters, but in my opinion, you should plan for less. I keep mine within line of sight and usually under 150 to 200 meters. Past about 250 to 300 meters in an open field, I've seen the live video feed stutter or drop. It uses 2.4 GHz for control and 5 GHz Wi-Fi for live view, which is fine, but interference and phone compatibility can make it finicky. The app HS V5 is functional, if a bit clunky. It delivers distance, height, and battery info and lets me pick smart modes, but I've had a few moments where it froze and needed a relaunch. Not a deal breaker, just part of the budget drone vibe. Battery life has been steady. New. Each 7.6 1700 mAh pack gave me around 22 to 23 minutes in light wind flying conservatively, and now I'm seeing around 20 to 21 minutes per pack. Charging takes roughly 2.5 hours per battery on the included USB cable. 2 batteries in the box is basically the difference between a quick test flight and a proper practice session, so I'm glad they didn't cut that corner. Camera-wise, here's the straight talk. The HS175D advertises 4K, and that applies to still photos. Video records at up to 2.7K to a micro SD card and typically 1080p to the phone. More importantly, there's no gimbal stabilization. A gimbal is the little mechanical platform that keeps the camera level and smooths out bumps. Without that, you're relying on the drone itself to fly perfectly smooth. When the air is calm and I'm gentle on the sticks, the footage is acceptable for quick memories. When I pan too fast or it's breezy, the horizon tilts and the footage shakes. You can nudge the tilt angle with the controller to get better framing, which helps, but it won't fix the lack of stabilization. If you're expecting buttery cinematic shots, you won't get them here. For casual clips and learning composition, it's fine. For polished content, it falls short. The smart modes are fun to test. Waypoint works as expected if you draw simple routes on the map and keep it within a sane distance. Circle works best when you pick a target, keep the radius modest, and avoid wind. Follow me is a mixed bag. Remember, it's using your phone's GPS, so it needs a good signal, and there's no obstacle avoidance. I use these modes in wide open areas and keep my thumb near the pause button. They're useful learning tools, but not fire and forget features. I've had a few bumps and one tree brush. The foldable arms are resilient, and the spare props are easy to swap. No broken arms, just a scuffed prop and a lesson learned about flying under branches. As a practice platform, it's forgiving enough to keep you flying and learning. Things I like, Focus. In my opinion, the biggest strengths are the convenience, the safety net, and the value for learning. It folds small, travels easy, and the included case and dual batteries make it feel like a complete kit. The under 250 grams weight reduces friction when I want to grab it and go. The GPS hold, altitude hold, and RTH work as intended, which builds confidence. The controller's camera tilt rocker is surprisingly helpful for framing. The optical flow sensor makes indoor hover practice less scary. The dual battery setup is the difference between a few minutes and a meaningful session. It's perfect for someone who wants to understand core drone concepts without spending a lot. You get a taste of GPS-assisted flight, FPV, the live camera view, smart modes, and pre-flight checks like compass calibration. The good part is you learn real piloting skills because the drone won't mask every mistake. That's useful if you plan to move up later. I also like that the brushless motors are efficient and robust. Noise is reasonable, and after months of use, there's no weird vibration or startup issues. The firmware and app haven't done anything unpredictable to my unit beyond the occasional quirk, and the craft still feels solid. Trade-offs you should know. The video promise doesn't match the hype, and the wind tolerance is limited. That's expected at this size and price, but it's important to set expectations. From my experience, if your main goal is smooth, cinematic footage, you need a drone with a real gimbal. No amount of careful flying will fully replace mechanical stabilization. If you're mostly flying for fun, practicing maneuvers, learning airspace etiquette, and grabbing casual clips, it fits the bill. In terms of care, I treat calibration as part of the ritual. Unfold, power on, wait for enough satellites, quick compass spin, quick gyro set, check beginner mode if I'm in a tight area, and confirm my home point. I only push range in clear open fields, and I plan my flights for calmer parts of the day. Doing that has kept my flights stress-free. Who I think it's for. I'd recommend this for beginners who want to learn flight basics without risking a pricey camera platform. It's also good for hobbyists who prioritize portability and quick casual flights. It's perfect for anyone curious about GPS drones who doesn't need premium video. If your primary goal is content creation with smooth, stable video, this isn't your final stop. Think of it as a trainer that teaches you what matters before you invest more. In conclusion, the Holy Stone HS175D is a smart starter drone with honest limitations. It nails convenience, safety features, and flight time per dollar. It falls short on stabilized video and windy day control. For me, it's been a great teacher. It made me comfortable with pre-flight checks, it helped me practice orientation and gentle stick control, and it gave me enough flight time per session to actually improve. I still fly it when I want a quick practice run or a casual aerial look at a spot. If your expectations are realistic, it's a solid buy. If your goal is cinematic footage, save up for something with a gimbal. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe and drop your questions or your own HS175D tips in the comments. Thank you for watching.